I'm assuming. And there was an election committee that pretty much involves myself, Matt, and our area director, Angela. And we've got some names that we would like to elect into specific positions. Yeah. Not really in front of me. Yeah. Life. Yeah. I'm actually not. Okay, so I would like to just go through the positions. So the process that we are going to be following is the way that the elections are run is that we have to have a quorum, which we verified that we do have more than 51% here. Then we will go through a procedure that will announce the position, starting off with the president and asking for nominations and verifying that the person is accepting the nomination and opening up the floor to if anybody would like to take on that post also. If there are two participants requesting for that post, we will have a standoff whereby each participant will have a 2-minute speech to actually justify their case why they should be given the post. Then we'll go to a secret ballot whereby those two people leave and we can just have a nay or say yes or no to either individual. Okay. So with that, we understand the process that we're going to be following. I'm going to be just talking through each process. So the first individual we would like to ask or put up for election is the president. Okay. Now, the skill sets being president, your role and responsibility is to provide helpful, supportive leaderships, and for all the club activities, you will motivate, make peace, and facilitate as required. So you are the president of the club. You're the person that signs the checks at the end of the day. So I would like to open the floor up to nominations for that post. Okay. Thank you. We have the nomination committee have nominated Thandeka as our incoming president. Thandeka, do you accept the nomination? Thank you very much. Thank you for that. So this is what I'm actually supposed to be reading. I'm going to be reading this multiple times. I do apologize. So for the officer of president, the nomination committee has nominated Thandeka. Are there any other further nominations from the floor for president? Are there any other further nominations from the floor? Are there any other further nominations? I'm taking you to looking at the screen. I can't see anybody online. Okay. So, hearing no nominations, it is now closed without objections. Since there is only one candidate for the president, we are going to forego the secret ballot and instruct the secretary to cast, or please can one of our committee members cast a single ballot on behalf of the Bryanston Breakfast Club. Thank you. Thandeka, you have been, okay, sorry. Oh, so the way that it's going to work, sorry guys, nominations go, we're going to have specific ballots that are going in. Now, Tandeke is been put there, but we're going to go through all the nominations and go through the entire list, and then welcome everybody up to the front and welcome our committee to the floor. Okay. Now, for Vice President of Education. So for Vice President of Education, that individual would schedule the members' speeches, projects, and serve as a resource for questions about educational rewards. And they will also help with setting up the contests and the mentoring program. So the nomination committee have nominated Matthew as we have nominated him. Do you accept the nomination?
I accept.
Thank you. Are there any other further nominations from the floor for Vice President of Education? Are there any other nominations from the floor? Okay. Are there any other nominations from the floor? So there are no further nominations from the floor. So I would like our secretary or anybody from our committee to accept Matthew's nomination. Adrian, thank you very much. Thank you for that. So Matthew has been locked in as our Vice President of Education. Okay, the next one is Vice President of Public Relations. The nomination committee has asked for, we don't have any nominations for the Vice President of Public Relations. So let me just give you a background on what this individual does. This is pain to say. Okay, so the Vice President will promote the club in local communities and notify media about the club's existing and benefits, and also updates the web content. Do we have any nominations from the floor with regards to this position? Are there any nominations from the floor? Would anyone like to make a mistake and choose this position and publicize it on the net? But your name won't be on it, it'll be our club, of course. So there is, okay. Mr. President, how do we go about if there is no nominations? Is it a matter of I'm trying to think.
For instance, being the previous DPPR,
Yes.
I would take on that role until somebody is ready to step in.
Okay.
So we will do an election for this role again in 6 months.
Okay. Thank you for that clarity. So no nomination, so we'll scratch that specific one. You will just carry on the baton for the next 6 months until we find a viable candidate. Okay. Thank you very much. It's great to have multiple screens like next to each other, then you just slide them across. Do apologize. Next post is for secretary. The nomination committee has nominated Adrian Hine as our secretary. Adrian, do you accept the nomination?
I accept.
Thank you. Now, as secretary, your responsibilities are to maintain all club records, manage club files, handle club correspondence, and take the minutes at each meeting and executive meetings. Okay. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor or online? Any nominations from the floor? Thank you. Hearing none nominations, this is closed. So without any objections, can one of our committee members accept the nomination of our secretary so that we could forego the voting? Matt? Thank you. Okay. Next individual is treasurer. The nomination committee has elected myself as a treasurer. Are there any other okay. I do accept the nomination of treasurer. So thank you for that. So the responsibility of the treasurer are to ensure the club's accounts and filing with regards to taxes and incomes are documented and kept timelessly and are accurate and up to date for the club. Are there any other nominations from the floor with regards to this position? Any nominations? Carissa. Ah. So I don't know if I've mentioned, we can nominate individuals and then I would have to request, would that person like to take on the position? Carissa, would you like to take on the position of treasurer? No, thank you. You'd have to give me a written document, 5 pages long at least. Okay. Unfortunate, Carissa. I was really looking forward to a send-off with you, like to take on this post. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Okay. Lastly, are there any nominations from the floor? Thank you. Without any objections, there's only been one candidate for the office of treasurer. I forgo the secret ballot and instruct somebody from our committee to cast the single ballot. Any of our club members? I don't like it that it's always you. It seems ominous. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yes, there was a very loud sigh. I heard it. Last position of our committee is Sergeant at Arms. Okay. The nomination committee haven't had a candidate. Is there anybody from the floor that would like to take on this role? This role does involve the following: to keep track of the club's property, to ensure we prepare the meeting place for all members, and to stow all the club's equipment after the meeting. Is there anybody that from the floor would like to be part of the committee? This is the least onerous or least time-consuming committee role. Mandla, I would recommend, I would like to nominate you to take on that role, just because it isn't very taxing. Would you like to take on that role? The benefits are great from a leadership point of view. You can. I accept. Do you accept? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your check's in the mail. Thank you. Okay. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Chrissy, would you you be interested in a committee role? Because I know that I'm talking about Sergeant at Arms now specifically, but would you like to take on the role of Sergeant at Arms? Okay. Fine, it's fine. We will groom you for VVPR. Okay. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? If Tanya is online, she can speak for herself.
Sorry, is there a question or something?
Tanya, Tandeka is asking about you and Sergeant at Arms. Or
No, I will leave it to those who are ready and able.
Are you asking about the UCR for Tanya taking that post? Tanya, are you willing to take any positions within the committee at this present moment?
No, not at this present moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, without, I have asked the floor 3 times with regards to Sergeant at Arms. There's no other nominations besides Agadi with regards to this post. Okay. Without hearing any other nominations, they are now closed. Without objections, since there's only one candidate, I would like somebody from the floor to accept the nomination. Tandeka, thank you very much. And that's to forego the secret ballot. Thank you very much. Now that has closed our elections. I would like to introduce our new committee members up to the front. Okay, give me a sec. I would like to welcome our new president, Tandeka. Welcome, welcome. Yes, our Vice President Education will come up next. Vice President, I did not mention Vice President of Membership. Sorry, that's one I did forget about. Sorry, Mrs. President, I need to do this. The nomination committee for the Vice President of Membership. The Vice President of Membership, that person is responsible for engaging in guests and managing the process of bringing a guest and transforming them into members. Matt had a great example of what he did today about our 2 guests today, saying that we are wanting them to come on board. We would like this nominee to continue that within our club, to continue the growth. Is there anybody from the floor who would like to take on this position, or anybody online? Sylvia?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, thank you. She's rejected. Is there any other nominations from the floor? Teresa? Cool. Thank you for that. Lovely. Done. 6 months evaluation. Thank you very much. So Chrissy, because you're the other individual we have to ask, would you like to take on the membership role? Ah, thank you. Christy. So we are a very warm and welcoming club. I will be supporting you during this studio journey, and our president will also help out. It is great that we're all learning, we all make mistakes, and we welcome you to the team. Okay, but whoa, you can't just put it in like that. Whoa. Are there any other nominations from the floor? No other nominations from the floor? No other nominations from the floor. Thank you very much. One of our committee members, please can we cast a single ballot for our, thank you, Chandeka, Chrissy, for taking on the responsibility of Vice President of Membership. Okay. So Chrissy, I would like to welcome you to the front as our Vice President of Membership. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Our secretary for the club, please can we welcome Adrian Hine to the front. Adrian, thank you. Welcome. I would like to introduce myself as the treasurer. Mrs. President, I'm happy to serve you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Second last is our Sergeant at Arms. Please come to the front. And then lastly, our Vice President of Education, Matthew Malia, please come to the front. Thank you. So I would like to welcome our new committee for the 2020-22 season. Welcome, everybody. Group photo, come in here slowly. There you go. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, everybody. And your responsibilities start from 1st of July. So you got 2 weeks break. Eh? You can relax. I'm really excited that we do have pretty much a full committee, barring the Vice President of Public Relations. It is a daunting role, but we'll groom somebody into that specific role. It is great to have a team that will be working together in growing the club. Tandek, I'm very excited that you are taking on the presidential role. It's interesting that 2 weeks ago we did have a conversation on the way out of the club, and you said you want to grab something by the horns and drive further. So I'm happy that you're going to be taking us further. And it is, you can mold this club however you want. So, Mr. President, I would like to say thank you for guiding this club over the past year. It has been a struggle from what I handed over to you. I think where we are currently, it is great. 2 minutes. Where you've brought us so far, I think it's a great foundation for Tandeka to grow this club even further. And I just want to tell the club, I'll do your announcement. Matthew has been able to achieve the highest achievement within our club, barring one requirement. Unfortunately, we're required to have 16 registered members within the club. When I handed the club over to Matt, we only had 7 members, maybe even 6. And Matthew's been able to achieve growth within the club of additional 5 members and achieve all the educational, leadership. There's another area of responsibility. He's been able to tick all those boxes. And if he didn't, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to achieve the 16 members, he would have been able to achieve the highest achievement within the club, which is presidential distinguished. So Matt, fantastic job. Sandeka, Matt's giving you a good foundation and we'll be able to achieve that presidential distinguished for sure. I know it, I got trust in you. So, you've got this, don't worry. You got this. So, Mr. President, I'm going to hand over to you to do the close-up. Thank you very much. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Dino Lupini, for an amazing AGM. It is 11:10, so I'd like to make the closing really brief. To our new incoming committee, well done for taking on the mantle. It is going to be an exciting journey. Something that I've learned over the past year being in the committee, that it does get challenging. You're going to have those nights like me where you're just screaming into your pillow and maybe crying a little bit. I'm not confessing that I was crying, maybe just a little bit. But I do believe with the bigger committee now, there's going to be greater support. And we've seen Tandeka be up here and lead meetings. So definitely she's going to take our club to new heights. In our next meeting, I will just be sharing our DCP results that Dino was speaking into. Had it not been for the 3 members that we've missed, this year we would have officially been a President's Distinguished Club. But that's okay. I do want to thank you all for your commitment to doing your speeches at our clubs each week. It's because you guys were doing your speeches at our meetings each week that we were able to reach all of our educational goals. And to our membership committee, because you guys were attending the trainings that were held every 6 months, we were able to reach our training goals. And it is because of those 2 elements that we are the strong club that we are. In closing, something that I want to mention to you that one of the members I was speaking to this week, and I shared it with you all in the group, but I'd like to reiterate it because it made my week that much more interesting and appreciative of this club, is that member mentioned the 3 reasons why she's willing to transfer from another club, even though they're doing great, and transfer into our club. And she mentioned that when she visited the Bryson Breakfast Club, something that she noted was that we hold ourselves to high standards. We are very supportive of each other. And number 3, we give the best evaluations that any club can offer. So it is for those 3 reasons that she's willing to transfer into our club. And like I said in the message, those 3 reasons are not a reflection of me. It's not a reflection of the committee. It's a reflection of us as people in a club that's willing to support the next person and feed into our growth as individuals and becoming better public speakers. So in closing, thank you all very much for your commitment to the club, and thank you for joining our meeting. I hope you enjoyed our breakfast, and we hope to see you in our next meeting. To our guests, once again, thank you for taking on the meeting roles. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Is that a nod for yes? No? Maybe?
Well, it's the second time, so yeah, it's nothing new, but it's just interesting to see what exactly they'll think the country.
Love it. So we'll touch base with you just to get some feedback on our meeting so that we don't go over any more time. Some of us have birthday parties to get to and other afternoon engagements. So with that being said, I will now close off the meeting, and
I don't see hands raised or any chats in the online space. So have a great afternoon, everybody. If you want to join the poetry course, join. If you want to join our club, the membership form has your name on it. And I will see you at our next meeting in 2 weeks. Cheers.
Well done.
That's the best closing I've ever given. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of myself.
I love it.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, online members.
I'm out.
Only from July.
Yeah, second week of July.
Especially in arms, what is the
Just for others.
like always stuff?
So it is a matter of, so you open up the meetings. Don't worry, I'll send you the write-up.
Okay.
But it's pretty much just opening up the meetings, and then during the, we normally have a lunch break. You would normally call the meeting to adjourn, and then that's happening during the meeting. And then after the meetings, it's pretty much you just have to make sure that whatever we got in the box, it is there,
Okay.
and it's
Where is
that just is in the back room.
oh, okay.
So currently it is just once every 6 months you just check that if all the equipment's in. But I'll give you a proper write-up, and there is training for the role, and it happens normally in August.
Okay. And then
To be honest, the biggest benefit is actually the exposure to the committee and what everyone has to do, and then the online information. That's for me is the
that
biggest.
sounds good. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to give you.
But if you are need to set up a meeting, I thought I had something like that.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
By yourself. By yourself.
You said
No
you
one's
can
gonna come here and help you. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna sweat. No. It is. To be honest,
Okay, but it's okay.
every member has to actually help. Don't worry. Don't freak out.
Okay, I'll wait for the information. Just send me that.
We will absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will take it. Maybe on the next meeting, hopefully I can come in and just see the section up. Okay.
What I say probably is my guide.
Right.
Guide.
Yeah.
So I'll get it. It does.
So it's like
I struggle probably a year.
Marat. Do you know Marat? Marat Lobola. Means Lobola. Marat.
I'm just calling the bullet.
Marat. No, you can't call me Lobola. That one, no.
You've done that. You've done that process.
Marat. Yeah. Okay. See you guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
It's a long journey too. That's fine. Okay, lovely. President, yeah,
President is Standeka, yeah, and Dino, he's the treasurer.